This is the room that we will be moving in. Benji already moved in. So as you can see, it is a decent sized room. I think it will be perfect for a small bedroom studio. My workstation that I'm still waiting for will go here. So I'll be sitting in front of the window. Ideally you want to have glass the windows behind the speakers to avoid these reflections. Then we're gonna have bass corner traps in these corners, 2 acoustic tiles on the ceiling, as well as on these walls as for the first reflection points. I've already ordered a few more acoustic tiles. Then we'll have bass corner traps in these 2 corners and a sofa there. So we'll have a sort of a nice comfy feel to it. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna paint the walls, then change the radiator to a nice looking one tomorrow, and then in a few days we're gonna put new carpets that are gonna match the color of the walls and match sort of the vibe. Before we start painting the room, I want to drill 4 holes in the ceiling, get these screws in. These are for the ceiling panels, acoustic ceiling panels, the one behind me on the cloud mount. And I'm gonna have 2 of them in this room, mounted parallel to each other, so they cover the space between the speaker and my listening position. As you can see on the floor, I've mapped out where the desk will be sitting. I've also taken the bass strap just so to measure it exactly. Now, this is the center point of the desk. This will be the center point of the desk, and that's where my head will be, so my sort of listening position. And then we measure the distance from the wall to that position. We put a line across the ceiling, and then 4 spots where we gotta drill holes for that bolt. I've drilled 4 holes. I've put the bolts into the ceiling. I did forget to put a washer on one of them because I'm an idiot, but hopefully it will work. I'm gonna clean up, and then we're gonna put the panels up to see if the measurements were correct and if they'll work. We've put the acoustic panels up on the ceiling. It was a bit of a mission, but they are looking really nice. I have not tightened the screws because we're gonna take them down for the painting. In a few days we're gonna put them up again, but if you wanna have a look, they are sitting pretty tight up there. Okay, so a quick update. I want to show you what we've done to the room. It is still work in progress. So we've put new carpets in. The room has been painted by Paulina, my wife. We did put the acoustic tiles and corner bass traps in each corner, as well as the monster bass trap on the back wall. The thing is that I haven't got the desk yet. It will come in about 3 weeks. I'm gonna put the old desk in, but if you look at the floor, I've mapped out with a piece of string where the new desk will come in, and then where the speakers, my monitors, will sit, because the monitors will sit on the actual desk. Because of that, we will be able to put the side panels up to cover the first reflections. We're gonna do that now. As you can see, I've also mapped the middle of the room, so the sitting position. That's how we're going to measure these first reflections, and then do the measurements with SonarWorks, see how the room sounds, and you know what kind of problems it has. So that's the update. I'm going to do the panels now, and then we'll show you how it looks. So as far as the acoustics go, we have bass traps in each corners, and these are these GIK Acoustics corner bass traps sitting on each other, so we have 2 in each corner. This room is bigger than the last room, but it's still quite small, so there's gonna be a bass build-up. That's why people from GIK
Acoustics recommended 2 bass traps per corner. Like I mentioned before, we have a monster bass trap on the back wall, and that's directly behind the listening position. Also 2 panels on the ceiling, and they cover the area between the speaker and the listening position. At the moment, we're going to find the reflection points on the sidewalls, and I have 2 panels to put on the sidewalls. They said for this type of room, 1 panel on each wall will be more than enough. Now, like I did say, I did map out where the desk will sit, the new workstation, and it will be about 9 centimeters in this direction. That's why I'm sitting very close to the desk, so to mimic my position when that desk comes, how it will actually be. And that's because I want to have the panels in correct space. So I'm sitting in the correct position even though it's tight. And then what we do, we take a tape measure and measure the distance from the floor to the ears. And then on the side wall, we put that measure to the wall, and that's the line where we get the mirror, slide it alongside the wall, and where I can see, because you need 2 people for that ideally, because one person will be sliding the mirror, and then where I can see the speaker, that's the reflection point, that's where we mark it on the wall and we put the panels up. Now, because that room is quite small, the reflection point for the left speaker on the left side wall is just very near to the bass traps. In that situation, I've looked for the next reflection point from the right speaker and marked that spot. And where I put the panels on, that should cover the left and right at the same time. Like I said, if the room was wider, then you'd possibly put 2 panels on each wall for the first and second reflection point, but for that type of room, 1 is more than enough. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Then what we have to do then is to measure the panel and to make sure that where we mark that spot is the center of the panel, same as that back panel there. I will only need to mark 1 sidewall and then take the same measurement, the distance from the ceiling and the floor and the corners, and just do it symmetrically on the right sidewall. Alright, so we are here in my garage.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
As you can see, we haven't got a Lamborghini yet, but the desk finally came. I've ordered it 1st of November 2021. It's now 1st of March 2022. So we've been waiting 4 months for the desk. There have been various delays with the supply chain and so on. It looks quite big in a wooden coffin. So what we're gonna do now, we're going to open it up, see if everything's in order inside. Then I'll have to clean up my studio upstairs, get the old desk out, bring that one up, put it all together, and hopefully we can set up the new desk, speakers today, and I want to show you, how I do it. So we've unscrewed the top. Let's open it up. So we got the instruction from Buso audio how to build it, and it looks like everything is in order, packed really well in bubble wrap with some cardboard on top. Obviously the wooden coffin as well made it so it was safe. It traveled from Hungary, where their warehouses are, to UK. Hello again. As you can see, I've cleaned up the room, got rid of the old desk and my keyboard, and I'm starting to build the new desk. Hopefully it won't take too long, because then I need to set up the studio monitors, and I also want to do the final measurements. As you can see, we are halfway through, and I have to say a lot of care went into both the design and the instructions to a person like myself who's okay with the tools. But yeah, it's going quite well, and let's finish it. As you can see, we finished the desk. It is looking rather grand. It's quite deep, but it fits my complete 88 underneath perfectly. So then I'll save some space where the keys were before. What I have to do now is I've got to get rid of my normal speaker stands, put the monitors on the desk, do the final measurement so the desk is even distance from the walls, from everything else, and yeah, do the final measurements with a Sonarworks microphone as well.